We should form a club, a brotherhood.
We change the world through the power of art.
Music, poetry.
And what about Tolkien?
I want to write something.
And that Edith represented, you know, Elven Princess within his work that he would go on later to do. For you, kind of learning more about his early years and exploring him and Edith's relationship, what impacted you most?
I really didn't know much about Tolkien other than the stories he created. But about him and Edith, knowing that they were orphans that lived in the same house together and seeing what it is that they inspired one another and encourage each other to do and to be was really fascinating, because seeing the character that she created in the end, or that was inspired by her, kind of distilling that into a woman of this period who had, you know, very little prospects, seeing what she created out of her situation was really interesting, and that she wanted more for herself, but she didn't let that stop her from encouraging him to want more, which it was a very selfless act. I thought that was something really beautiful about her character.
The scenes especially that stood out to me, a little bit of the romance and then the playfulness and the sass that we're seeing.
Yeah.
And I understand that was really captured from the essence of her.
Definitely. There's very little research that one could do on Edith, but what I could find were specific photos of her, and there's this one picture of just her portrait style where very poised, put together, but there's a real cheekiness behind her eyes that I thought, oh, that's interesting. That's not what I was expecting. And then the pictures of the two of them together and in an old age, you just saw that they were this old couple that would nag each other but just really loved one another as well, and they kind of knew each other's quirks and like couple goals, you know? And I really was like, oh, wow. You guys really loved each other and really just knew from an early age, even if it would take you a while to get there. It was a slow burn, and it's one of those relationships I think that a lot of people could write off as just, you know, made in the movies, but it's not. It was real life, and it kind of gives everyone hope that, like, oh, that's possible.
Tell me a story. In any language you want.
You're ridiculous.
The Legend of Celador.
Everyone within the film, I feel like, kind of identified their passions early in life, and then were able to grow those in. And I think that's a gift if you're able to know that early on. What about with you? Kind of when did you know arts? I know you started in journalism, but when did you know that acting was something that was for you?
I was in a show when I was 2 here in England on the BBC, and I just, ever since I could tell stories, I knew. I was very driven in that regard, knowing that it was something that I wanted to do, and I also knew it would be kind of a slow burn in a way. I wanted to continue schooling. I loved education and being in school with my friends, but I also saw the end result, and I really want to do that. So it was something that sometimes my friends didn't really understand. What do you mean you're going to an audition? Like, where are you meeting? I'm like, oh, it's fine, you'll understand later. Like, I just always knew that I wanted to do it, and I could see it going places. I just knew it was going to take me a little longer because I was being told no, but I didn't take it as, no, it's not for you. It was like, okay, not right now.
And she loved the piano and was very talented at it. Coming from a musical family, was that something that was easy for you to pick up?
I trained for a little while for it, but it wasn't nearly enough time to be as good as she would have been. So I do obviously love music. It's a huge part of my upbringing and kind of who I am as a person now and the kind of actress that I am, and I use music a lot of the time to influence my work. But also movie magic is wonderful, and camera angles are wonderful. But yeah, I knew the whereabouts of where I was supposed to be playing, but I think for everyone's sake, it was better that it was fibbed a little bit.